what? He gave himself for the church. Can you give yourself for your wife? You know, Christ doesn't just come all the time to the church. I'm your head, I'm your head, I'm your head, I'm your head. It flows, it's natural. The church submits to the lordship of Christ because of what Christ has done for the church. And the same thing the Lord is expecting from us, that if we are going to be like Christ and have that relationship, then we submit to him as well. In verse 24, therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Now, Pastor, my husband is not born again. And he's always persecuting me. And in fact, he has said I should not come to this church again. And you are now saying that I should submit to my husband in everything. Yes, everything as the church submits to the Lord. Everything that has to do with the Lord, but not something that is outside the Lord. Don't let your husband, because before you knew that man, you knew the Lord. Or maybe after you knew him. But at the end of life, you will stand separate from your husband. God, every one of us shall give account of our families, of himself. One by one, we give account of ourselves. So with the understanding that I will give accounts to God, your actions, your life, your relationship, your interactions, we follow that as well. In verse 25, husbands, love your wives. What should be the degree and the level of the love the husband should have for the wife? Look at it. Even as Christ also loved the church. And did what? And gave himself for it. There are husbands that when there are, maybe they have challenges at home, and they had the food cooked, and they've used up all the chicken, and there's only one chicken that is left, and they are coming back. Both of them are just coming back from church or from something, and then as the woman is putting the thing in the microwave, he's eyeing the chicken, and then as they are trying to serve, she has served the rice for him and served the rice for her. Now the chicken, and he's waiting. Okay, I'll wait, and then the woman now picks the chicken. And then he's watching the direction of where the chicken is going. Whether it's going to land in his own plate or land in our own plate. If you are like Christ, say, take it, don't worry. And then let the woman answer, don't worry, let's share it together. See, that is how you give yourself to him. You know, both of them have come to church. And then, one is in a children's church, one is in a choir or usher or whatever, and then they've served the Lord, and then they leave the church, and they are both tired. And, you know what the men do? They just pick their socks like this, throw it in there, and then the shoe will go this way, and then go on the sofa and lie down. And then, maybe momentarily, they fall asleep. And then they come awake. Woman, where's my food now? But you both went to church together. And you both came back together. Or maybe she took a private jet to get home before you. No, you came together. You are both tired. So what you should do, you remove your dress and then go and stand by her in the kitchen. And cook the food together. Prepare the meal together. You are both tired, so enjoy the labor together. Don't turn your wife into a slave. Brothers, it appears I'm a bit hard on you this morning. Am I? No, because that is, if you want your home to be what it ought to be, you love your wife as Christ loved the church. And as he gave his life for the church. And that's the thing about love that we're talking about. That's what love does. Love gives. Love gives without expecting anything in return. And so, in verse 26, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. If you are like me, I'm talking to you, my brothers, that I don't like anything touching my body. There was a time I had to take an injection, and it was like, wow. Because I fear injection. When I was growing up, I used to fear injection. But these days, I think, maybe because I'm a bit old now, but I still fear that needle. But women don't fear injections. The thing is just normal with them. There are certain pains that women just go through with it. They don't even feel anything. But if you go through it, that's why there was an experiment that was performed some time ago. And they put a man in the surgery room. And they tried to kind of reproduce the experience of childbearing, the pain and everything, for him to experience that pain. By the time they came out of that place, they said they will never disrespect their wives anymore. Because the pain was so excruciating. There are things that women go through, they just smile. But if you just go through a little of that thing, you will cry. They've never seen an old man crying before, but we cry. But see, that is what the Lord is telling us, that a man should love his wife as his own body. And then he says something there, he that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourished and cherished it, even as the Lord the church. This is why sometimes we wonder why some men can raise their hands and hit their wives. That's why we wonder. That thing they call domestic violence, it should never be mentioned in the church. That thing they call wife battery should never come near us. Because if you love your wife like your body, you will not want anything to touch or harm or hurt that woman. And that is love. Love that when that woman is passing through something, you are feeling it yourself. It's not the love that the kind of separates you from the suffering and the challenges your wife is going through. And that's why if Christ can bear that for us, whatever we are comforted in the fact that whatever we are going through, God understands. Is that not what we say? Say, he is touched by the feeling of our infirmity. And then we are comforted. The same thing you do for your wife. When your wife is sick, you don't say, this kind of sickness. It's laziness. It's laziness that causes this kind of thing. Get up. Please, I want to eat. That is an heartless man. A man that does not have any single dose of grace in him. When your wife is sick, when your wife is almost dying, you want to be there to do everything you can. And of course, for the woman also. Look at Titus chapter 2. Because you see, why does the Bible so much emphasize love for the man? Because the woman naturally will love. The way God has made the woman naturally loves. She doesn't need too much effort to love the husband, except you hurt that woman. Except you do something painful to that woman. But naturally, the woman cares. The heart of the woman is a caring heart. It is a loving heart. It is a heart that wants to reach out to the husband, reach out to the children, and care and cater for them. But thank God, because the Bible is complete. In Titus chapter 2, reading from verse 3, that the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to do what? To love their husbands. Can you see the emphasis? Dear, not to love husbands, because you can love any husband, but it says to love their husbands, to love their children. In the church of God, we should help families to bond together. We should help families to appreciate one another. As leaders, pastors, and women leaders, we shouldn't be found to be people who are breaking homes and destroying homes without counseling. A young sister who has just married and having difficulties with the husband comes to you as a woman leader and says, maybe mommy or whatever they call you, see, I'm having serious challenges, maybe because we didn't have proper courtship, maybe because of this, because of that. And then he says, is that what he is doing to you? If I were the one, I will just leave and go to my parents' place until he comes to bed. What kind of woman leader are you? You are destroying homes. And as you come to the family also, love, the Bible says, covers a multitude of sins. Let me tell you, there is no perfect marriage. I'm sure you have heard that before. What is perfect is our ability to work things out together and have Christ at the center of our relationship. The ability to look up to Christ that is able to help us and see us through day by day, living one day at a time. And when there are challenges between your husband and yourself, it shouldn't be degenerate into arguments. There is nothing that should make you to get into argument with your husband or your wife. You want to say, okay, it appears we are not really agreeing on this. Darling, maybe we should leave this and let's go and pray about it. I'm sure God will lead us. And then both of you agree. But it's not that, no, I'm the head of this family. This is what must be done. Or the woman says, look, I'm sorry to say, by the grace of God, I have PhD. By the grace of, all these things sometimes we say, and then we kind of shock the thing with, by the grace of God, it's pride. By the grace of God, and by the grace of God, I have PhD, and because of that, I'm sorry, but by the grace of God, I've been to many places that you have not been to. And the man is looking at her like this, by the grace of God, but you are my wife. And then we say, that thing that we are trying to take is, by the grace of God, I know this, I know that I've been to Australia, I've been to this is how they do it, this how, and the husband says, look, we can't take decision on this. Let's go and pray about it. There is nothing to pray about. I've told you from experience. Experience is not enough. Because experience can mislead you. Experience can lead you astray. But you come to a situation, you come to a crossroad in your family, and you say to the Lord, well, I think we don't know which direction to go. And both of you agree, let's just go and pray about it. I know when you do that with oneness of spirit, God knows how to speak to both sides. He will speak to Paul, he will speak to Barnabas. He knows how to bring the two sides together. And he knows how to work at both ends of the coin. And we also discovered that it's because of this, the lack of this thing we're talking about, that has resulted in separation and divorce. We have the statistics here that the latest statistics that was published in 2012 estimates that 42% of marriages in England end in divorce. 42%. That is like almost half of the marriages. And then in the US, 1 in every 3 marriages ends in divorce. I pray yours will not be like that in Jesus' name. Why? Because the people don't see eye to eye. Recently, we're listening to some news, and there was a particular family, one celebrity kind of family that people have always looked up to, that these people, they are They are cool-headed, they are family kind of friendly people. And it was a shock